MegaPodTastic.
Good morning, MegaPodlings. It's Krazy Joe. We're back at Water Tower Cinema again. I was just here the other day seeing Raya and the Last Dragon. And we're back today to check out Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley in the movie Chaos Walking. Some kind of banging going on over there. But yes, Chaos Walking, starring Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley. I've heard negative things about this movie. Hasn't been getting great reviews, but I don't always trust the reviewers. I like to see things for myself, and we're going to check this out. Also, I just want to support the movie theater. I want to support the movie theater. We haven't had a lot of new releases, so when we get one, I'm going to support it. Let's get this mask on. There we go. All right, I got to straighten that out a little. There we go. Let's head in and check out Chaos Walking. Closed Tuesday. Fortunately, it's not Tuesday. Way back Wednesday, $5 movie tickets. It's not Wednesday either. And we're seeing Chaos Walking. There's the poster. Daisy Ridley, Tom Holland. I know very little about this movie. Not much at all. But these days, anytime you could see a new movie in the theater, it's a good thing. We're not getting enough new movies in theaters, but that's about to change, I think. Very soon, we'll have a lot more. Going to Theater 9. There it is.
It's Velveeta shells and cheese.
And it looks like we're all alone. All right, we are back after seeing Chaos Walking. Chaos Walking starring Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley, Mads Mikkelsen. Or is it Michelson? I don't know how you pronounce his name. but he's in the movie. And directed by Doug Liman. Now, I'll be honest with you, I hadn't heard many good things going into this. I think this was a movie that just kind of... I don't think critics have been too kind to it. I haven't heard anyone say it's very good. But I like to judge things on my own because there's a lot of movies out there critics will tell you are terrible that I actually disagree with them on and enjoyed quite a bit. For example, I think the movie Star Trek V: The Final Frontier, very often called the worst Star Trek movie, criminally underrated, and not the worst Star Trek movie. Star Trek Nemesis is the worst Star Trek movie. But anyway, that's beside the point. The point is, got to judge these things for yourself. And I just wanted to get out to my beloved Water Tower Cinema and show them some love. Support your local theater, I always say. So check this movie out. I like the director. Doug Liman's a great director. He's directed such movies as Swingers, Go, a criminally forgotten movie. You never hear anyone talk about Go anymore. That was a great movie. It was kind of brushed off as a young person's 20-something Pulp Fiction. That's kind of the way it was dismissed, but it's much better than that. Born Identity, he did. The great Edge of Tomorrow, aka Live, Die, Repeat. So we know Doug Liman's a great director. We know that these actors, Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley, she was great in Star Wars. He was great as Spider-Man. Mads Mikkelsen is a very popular actor. So these guys are good. We got a good director. What could go wrong? And the movie is apparently based on a book that I've never read called The Knife of Never Letting Go. Now, I have not read The Knife of Never Letting Go. I cannot give you any insight on that book. I know nothing about it, except I've seen the movie. So what did I think? This movie is not good. This movie is not good. I am not giving this a positive review. I wish I was, but I'm not. Here's the premise. A bunch of Earth settlers have settled on another planet, which I believe was called New World. I think they just called it New World. There's a creative name. But anyway, they settle on this planet, New World, and it has a surprising side effect. This planet, for some reason, makes it that all the men from Earth who land there, their thoughts are amplified. Everyone can hear what everyone else is thinking. They can visualize their thoughts. They can, see like there's one guy who's very skilled and he can create an illusion with his head, almost like Professor X. Like he could create someone thought that they were in a fence, but there was no fence. He was projecting it with his mind. He was one of the stronger ones. And some of them are not that powerful, but they try very hard to keep their thoughts hidden. They call it the noise because everyone can hear what you're thinking. So they call it the noise. Tom Holland throughout this movie keeps saying, like, control your noise, so people won't hear what he's thinking. Well, Daisy Ridley is an astronaut who lands on this planet, and there's no women there. It's all men. Turns out that the women that landed there, when these colonists arrived on this planet, the women were told killed by the native alien species, the species that is native to that planet, killed off all the women. So it's just men now, but we're told that the women were not affected by the noise. So they could hear what the men were thinking, the men could hear what the other men were thinking, but nobody could hear what the women were thinking. So Daisy Ridley lands, and as a woman, she is unaffected by the noise, and it makes her kind of a target. The members of this tribe that is led by Mads Mikkelsen, they want her. They're trying to capture her, and Tom Holland decides he's going to save her. He's going to get her to her spaceship to get off this planet. And it's sort of a road trip adventure between these two characters. Tom Holland as the guy who you can hear his thoughts, and he's not as skilled, being pursued by Mads Mikkelsen, who he's very much in control of his thoughts. He's the best in his tribe at being able to control his mind. And we have a pursuit, an attempt to get to the spaceship, and that's the kind of movie we're dealing with here. It's an interesting premise. I don't know if the book, I never read The Knife of Never Letting Go. I don't know if this book is much, much better than the movie. I would imagine it has to be better than the movie because the movie's something of a mess. For one thing, we're kind of thrown into this world, and eventually we learn the deal. We learn what the story is here, but we're not given it right off the bat. So early on, you kind of feel lost. Now, I'm not the kind of guy who feels everything has to be spelled out for you. I'm not. That's not who I am. I understand some things just need to organically happen, and you eventually, through context, figure out what's going on. I get it. But other times that doesn't work. And other times you do kind of need to be told what's going on. And in this alien world, we could have used a little bit better world building. We're just kind of thrown into it, and I felt it was kind of a mess. Another thing, we're supposed to be hearing what these characters can think, but obviously the characters talk, and we can hear their thoughts. So the audio mix is a little different. Like when Tom Holland speaks, you can hear him loud and clear as day. Whereas when you hear his thoughts, they're a little bit lower, and they're also mixed with other thoughts, because that's kind of how we all think, right? We all have kind of a lot of thoughts going around our head at once. So there's kind of like a mix of different voices happening. The result is it's very hard to hear his thoughts sometimes, but the other characters on the screen can hear it, and he'll think something, and someone will react to his thought because they heard it, and I'll be thinking, what did he think? I did not hear it. That guy heard it, and it's obviously important to the story because that guy's reacting to it, but I'm not quite sure what was said. I think this is a really interesting premise that is badly mishandled. I don't think this is a good movie. Of all the movies of Doug Liman's that I've ever seen, I would say this is probably the worst movie of his that I've ever encountered. I haven't seen all his movies, but of the ones I've seen, this was the worst. So, I don't know. I wanted to like it. I really tried. Went in with an open mind, even though I'd heard bad things, because, again, I disagree often. But this is one where I am going to go lockstep with everyone who says this is not a very good movie, and I sadly have to agree. But it's always good getting out to the movies. It's always good getting something new in theaters these days because of the way things are. Though I think that's about to turn around. We've got Raya and the Last Dragon. We got Chaos Walking. Also coming this month is Nobody and Kong vs. Godzilla. So there are movies coming to theaters this month, and I am happy to head down to my local Water Tower Cinema, and it's honestly my favorite place to be. If I could be anywhere in the world, if I could be anywhere in the world, I'd probably be in like Disney World, or maybe see Europe or Japan or something. If I could be anywhere in the world, but if I could be anywhere locally, I'm going to choose my local Water Tower Cinema. It's where I'm happiest, my home away from home. So it's good to see movies finally opening again. Also, you saw the video. Obviously, the theater was empty, but I got to tell you, even though there's not a lot of people at the theater now, there's an air of excitement. Like when you go in there and you see the previews, like the previews for like Black Widow and things, there's a real sense that this is about to turn around. Like it's palatable. You can feel it. So I have a feeling movie theaters are going to be coming back in a big way very soon. Chaos Walking is not the movie that's going to do it, though. This movie is unfortunately a big disappointment for me on the podcast. I will say damage report to this one. So there you go. But always get out there, support your local theaters. And until next time, guys, keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander pajamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.